Okay, let's get started again. So, at the beginning of the class, we started exploring Android. So, we saw things like how there's Java code, there's XML code. The two are related to each other, can reference each other. And so, we've got things like Android tries to it tries to use the right tool for the right thing. So things that have lots of text in them or deal with layouts, those should be XML files. Things that do things should be Java code like this. I'll play around a little bit more and write some more things. I think the next thing that I want to do is I want to launch a new activity when I click the launch calculator button. So we need a new activity. So you can, of course, create all of the parts of an activity by hand. You can create your own XML file. You can create your own class. It's probably not all that bad. But Android Studio makes it easy by saying new activity. And you've got all the same choices again. I'm just going to make an empty activity. I'm going to call it calculator activity. Calculator activity. And it'll create a layout. It's in the right package. It's my language. Great, great, great. Do all that. It'll add some new files. Yes, please add those to Git. It's a new activity Java class and a new activity XML file for the layout. I think there's a bug in Android Studio because it can't seem to find the reference to the layout. I don't know what I need to do to get that to go away, but it all exists. So if you, yeah, you gotta like quit. Okay, that's lame. So I guess you gotta relaunch Android Studio. Okay, well, hey, it's software. There's bugs in it, and it's free, so I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, right. And it still builds and yeah, and everything. Maybe you can't run tests or something through Android Studio. Okay, but yeah, everything works fine. So I guess okay, you gotta reload it. Well, fine. Okay. Well, now we've got our activity. I don't want to use. I don't want to use constraint layout. I want to use linear layout. Yeah, nice, simple linear layout. Actually, you know what? I don't think I do, actually. I want to use constraint layout because I like it being in the middle. So here I've got the new activity, and then I'll just put, I don't know, do I want to, no, I'll just put some edit text here. No, well, maybe. Yeah, sure, I'll just have a wrap the content here. And I'm going to get all of those same constraints here because I want to put it in the middle. I think that looks pretty cool. I'll even have, copy all that stuff, put it over here in my calculator. Yeah, there's a hello ID. And let's put it by parent. Good. Now it's there in the middle. I don't want to say launch calculator though. I want it to say, well, this is actually edit text. I don't want to say anything actually. I just want it to be empty. But I do want it to have a width of, no, not a width. It's like what, columns? What is that called? Width. Oh, here we go. Min width, max width of 5. What does that say? What does that look like? No. Is there like max cars? Max length, maybe? Of 5? Wait, it's min length really was what I want. I just wanted to have like a whole bunch of, what is it like there? Oh, unknown attribute. Okay, so obviously I don't know how to make an edit text field that's like 3 characters wide. So that's what I want. So edit text. Text change listener. What? Oh, I just reloaded. That was nice of it. Width. Set ellipses. Get text. is inherited from text view. It's not. Auto link, auto size, width, nothing. Oh, there it is. Got a whole bunch of it on the side. Font, min. No, how many characters? What am I doing wrong here? Is single line? Yes. Oh, there you go. Length. Turns the length in characters of the text managed by this text view. That's not exactly what I want. Right, I just wanted to say, hey, it's 3, it's 5 characters wide. Oops. Lines, I don't want lines. Hint. Oh, maybe I just have to do it based on digits. Drawable, enabled, focusable, height, line, height, line, space. Yeah, maybe that's how you're supposed to do that. I really thought that there was a way to say I want it to be X number of characters wide. There's got to be a way to do that. Android text width. Android edit text characters wide. Character wide. Okay, set the text width of terms of characters. Oh, if you use M's. Okay, duh. Okay, min M's is the size of the widest character. Okay, that'll do it, I guess. Okay, nice. See, Stack Overflow. It's all right. Min M's 5. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Thank you. Good deal. Okay. I'll change that a little bit later. I just wanted to prove I could do it. Let's see here. I also have a hint of here. I'm not going to change that right now. Oh, interesting. But yet it's not exactly the same. That's all right. Okay. So now I've got this other activity. Well, that's neat. Now what I want to do, though, is when I click the button, I want to launch this activity. Okay. So in Android, there's something called an intent. I-N-T-E-N-T. Intent. And an intent is when one activity wants to do something that is handled by another activity. So there's explicit intents and implicit intents. An implicit intent is something like, oh, look, my activity is displaying a URL. When someone clicks on that URL, go launch a web browser to browse that URL. And that activity is like, I don't care what activity launches the URL. You can use whatever browser you want. I don't care. I just want to launch. I just want to view this URL. That's implicit intent. An explicit intent is one activity saying, I want to go launch this other intent, and here's some data to pass to it. So we're going to use an explicit intent in this case. So what we're going to do is change our main activity to, instead of launching our snack bar, we're going to say the following. We're going to make an intent. Intent equals new intent. And we give it the the context. How do we get the context here? We want that to be, let's not get context, get application context. Actually, we can just use this, can't we? This comma, yep. This comma, and now the class to launch, which is the activity class. So this is basically saying, hey, here's an intent. Go explicitly launch this intent. And then we say start activity with that intent. and that'll launch it. So now, when we relaunch our application, oops, there it is. All right, so we launch the calculator. It starts up a new activity, and it's still the Android calculator app, but now I've got my new activity. Oh, and look, I've got text. When I click on it, I get a keyboard. Luckily, I can still type stuff there. But that's the activity to get rid of the keyboard. You hit the back button, and then hit the back button again to go back to the previous activity. Alternatively, you can have like I think it's activity.dismiss, close. I forget the name of the method. You can call on the activity itself to basically go away. So that's how you go between screens in Android. Oops, I hit it again. Anyway, must have. Okay, cool. I'll check that in. Launch a new activity with an intent. Okay. Okay, now let's go back to our calculator activity. And let's have it just do some simple addition. Okay, so what do I need? I need 2 edit texts, and let's have just 3 there. That's okay. So I'm going to have, I don't want a hint anymore. Nice and small. And I wanted to basically say, enter a number plus another number, and then I'll have an equal sign that I can click that as a button to then give you the results. So what does this complain about? Edit text. Autofills hints attribute, missing accessibility label, doesn't specify an input type. That might be useful. So one of the things you can have on a edit text is called an input type. We want this to be a number. And so that way you can't enter numbers. Well, duh. So let's just see that in action. Launch calculator, and now I can put 4 in there. Oh, look, it even gives you a different keyboard, but I can't type the letter W, for instance. So nice things. And so then this means that your UI is enforcing stuff about the numbers or the data that's in there. I want to try another layout. Now I want my linear layout. Excuse me. Oops. Linear layout. I want this to the width. I want to wrap content. The height. I also want to have it wrap content. And I'm going to put. Oh, what doesn't it like? I bet you can't have a linear layout. This view is not constrained. It only has design time positions. Oh, it's going to have one of these things. So now this is the thing I want to constrain. So what I'm doing now is I'm nesting. There we go. I'm nesting widgets inside another. Now a linear layout. This is like the constrained layout. These layouts are collections of other widgets, and what the layout does is it specifies an algorithm for positioning and sizing its children widgets inside itself. So this layout, this layout is going to have a whoa. It's thinking about it. Yeah, my computer's working really hard. Actually, I should probably quit IntelliJ. There's no reason for me to have IntelliJ up right now. So I'll quit that, free up some memory. Probably free up a lot of memory. Oh, I'm so sure. Oh yeah, I got like 4 projects open too. Yeah, that would do it. Yeah. Yeah, I want the other stuff open though. Okay, so now I want the orientation to be horizontal because I'm basically going to have several things in a row. I'm going to have this edit text here. I'm then going to have just a text. Oh, why is it? It's a text view. And again, wrap content. And yep, and then I want the text here to be plus. And it's just complaining it doesn't like the resource define. give me a resource, extract string resource, I'm going to call it plus for now. And then we're going to have another edit text. Oh, I just reformatted it. That's why it looks a little different, but it looks better now. Oh, interesting. What it did there. Okay, and so then another edit text, and then I'm going to have equals sign. Equals, and I will create that string resource with the value of equals. And then I will have another edit text, but now I don't want this one to be editable. Oh wait, editable is deprecated, so how do I do that? Android edit text not editable. The deprecated should be using, oh, input type none. Okay, that's cool. Input, no, input type is not number anymore. It is none. Okay, oops. Here we go. So we've got that. Let's relaunch our application. Launch our calculator. And here we can say 4. Oops, 4 plus 2. And, oh, I wanted this to be a button, didn't I? So that would do it. Okay, oh, this is supposed to be editable. Interesting. So input type equals none did not do what I thought it should. Okay. Well, maybe I should just make it a text instead. Text view. How's that going to look? It's got this funny box around it and everything. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Okay, well, whatever. We can fix that or not fix it later. Okay, so that's what we got. And I want to make the equals a button. It's a huge button. Okay, and we can probably fix that if we really wanted to, but I don't. Okay, cool. Okay, so now we got this. Let's test it out one more time. Launch calculator. This is a button. We can click it. We can put in text here. 2 plus 2 equals. Yep. Okay. I wonder if we can. I really like those to be centered. Alignment, text alignment, center. Oh, what doesn't it like? Let's also apply gravity. Center. Okay, fine. I think it just will fix it for me. Oh, thank you. Okay. So I want one of those. And, I want that there, and I want this here. And I think I also want it, yeah, I also want it here. Oops. Okay, that's already centered. That doesn't matter. Okay, launch it one more time. So this is what you do, right? You tweak your interface a little bit, and you and then you launch your application. You sort of make things the way you want. It's kind of fun. You can iterate really fast. Great. Now it's centered. That looks so much better to me for some reason. Okay, and I'll click the button. Okay, great. Well, now I've got it looking the way I want. Now I got to make it do something. Okay. I'll ask you, the viewers at home, what do you think? Like, where do I go from here? So like, what do I want to do?
When you tap the button, you take the values from the edit text and add it together.
Okay, great. So then, yeah. So I go back to my calculator activity. Well, first of all, I guess I need to I need to have the button do something. So I'll go back to the here. I'll say the button. So now I'll add an on click and not launch calculator. No, is this on the wrong? Oh, calculator activity. Interesting. And then we'll have this. We'll say add numbers. I don't know. And create on-click event handler. And oh, it's interesting. It doesn't know that's associated with calculator activity, but now it does. Okay, and so now, yeah, I got to get the two numbers that were input, and I need to add them together, and I need to set it in there. So how do I do that? Well, I need to get handles to the various widgets, and so I do that by setting IDs. Okay, and this is, I guess, well, let's call it left argument, left operand. And then I'll have right operand, and then I'll have, down here, I'll just have sub. Okay. And now when I go back to my activity, I get the text, the edit text, which is the left, and so that's find by view ID of r.ids.left operand. I get the edit text of right of find by view ID of r.id.right. And I want to get the information out of them, so I think that's get text, get string. Now get text. So get text returns this object called editable. I don't know, I haven't explored it that much. Text, sure. So left text, and what does this thing give me? It kind of looks like it's you can append stuff to it. You can, okay, I don't know what get filters is. You can insert. You can also just get two strings, so I guess that's what you're supposed to do. So I could get length or something. Yeah, I don't really know so much about this thing. So toString, I think this will return what we want, and so actually, we don't need to get the editable object, I guess. Let's make this the string. And then call this toString. Get right text from the right operand, and then we have to do int left number equals integer dot parsint left text. Same thing for right text. Int sum number equals left plus right. Now we need to get the edit text of the sum equals find view by ID. r.id.sum, and then sum set text. Yep, and to string.value of sum number. Okay, not terribly robust. Let's give it a try. See what it does. Let's see here. I need to rerun everything, so I'll do that. Successfully installed. Launch it, or maybe still installing it. Okay, there it is. Okay, 2 plus 4 equals 6. Wow! Look at that. My first try too. Yeah. So this is the pattern that you follow when you develop Android applications, right? You create your activity, well, I mean, first probably what you do is you would sketch it out, or this is what I want it to look like. You create your activity, then you work in the GUI editor, looking at the XML to sort of to lay it out using basic layouts, and then you're reloading it, you're trying it out to see what it looks like for real, and then you need to write some Java code which actually interacts with the widgets, right? And so you go and you get these references to the widgets, you interact with them, you see what's been entered into them. You of course do some data validation, things like that. But then you have your business logic, like adding two numbers together, and then you basically then you update it based on whatever the user told you. So that's the pattern. There's not that much else to it. The challenge is learning about the Android API, learning about all of the different kinds of widgets, how to use them. These are very simple ones. You'll want to use some more complex ones probably, but there's stuff for picking dates. There's stuff for you'll probably want lists of objects. Please use your creativity, right? And so then and this is the kind of stuff that you can do. That's all I want to show you for tonight. Any questions? No? Stunned silence? That's fine. Okay. Good. Anyway, have fun. I look forward to hearing about your experiences next week. Next week we'll sort of do some more of this. We'll answer some questions. I'll make it my goal to show you more about testing Android applications and how all of that works. So I'll probably prepare some stuff over the weekend for us to talk about in class next week. Okay. So to end out like the formal part of our discussion, let's take a look at the kata for mob programming. So Minesweeper. This is a game that was on like Windows. This and FreeCell was like, what everybody played on like their parents' Windows computer back in the 90s. Basically, the whole idea is that you've got like this minefield, and you don't know where the mines are because they're all buried. But what you can do is you can say, hey, how many mines surround this? And things are arranged in a grid. And so, like for this given cell, how many mines are around that cell? And then you can sit there and guess and say, aha, because I know there are 0 mines here, then because I know there are by process of elimination, you can see how many mines there are, and so you don't want to select those. And like you win the game when you find all of the cells that do not contain mines. And of course you lose if you hit a mine. And so what this kata does is you implement this game. And so you're given a grid that represents the minefield where you have asterisks that are mines and you have dots that are no mines. And then you you basically sorry, what is this? 3 by 5? 5, 0, 0. Oh, okay, right. And so then you analyze the input and then come up with a result like this, which says, hey, for any given cell, does it have a mine in it? If not, how many mines surround the given cell? Anyway, so let's break into mobs. Let's see here. The people who haven't mobbed already, how about you all get together? A couple of you want to join the fine. If other people want to mob, that's great. We've got all of the cables up here. But if you've already done a couple of mob activities and you want to stay, you don't have to stay. But this might be kind of a fun one to do.